elPadiTV. Oigan lo que hay. Esto va a empezar en media hora. Pero vamos a ir acomodando esto y lo vamos a dejar. Quizá hablemos un ratico. Me dijeron que viene Chipper Jones y Marquis Grissom. Ya ustedes saben, va a ser en inglés. Pero yo voy a anotar mis preguntas para hacerlas bien. Yo espero contar con el apoyo de ustedes, como siempre, ya que esto va a ser emocionante. Chipper Jones aquí, un bateador legendario. Yo voy a buscar informaciones extras de la que tenemos de Chipper Jones y de Marquis Grissom. Pero Chipper Jones, sin duda, leyenda aquí en los Bravos de Atlanta. Eso va a ser un honor poder hacerle, aunque sea una pregunta a Chipper Jones. Estoy emocionado realmente. Jugadores, yo creo que fue uno de los favoritos de mi papá. De hecho, en mi casa había una chaqueta. Hay una chaqueta, déjame voltear la cámara para que ustedes me vean. Hay una chaqueta de Chipper Jones, donde yo creo que hasta yo me la colocaba. Aquí tenemos a Paloma Almonte, en la pala ahí.
Hello. Estamos getting ready, claro. Estudiando, porque ustedes saben que yo sin estudiar, no, bebé.
No, la vuelta
nunca
siempre.
Preguntas sin documentarme antes de.
Eso es verdad.
Sí, porque nadie me va a agarrar fuera de base, tú ves.
Importante, ¿no? Yo también voy a buscar varias preguntas, porque aquí van a aparecer leyendas que uno nunca espera que vengan. Entonces, quizás por más que uno estudie, hay personalidades que uno nunca se esperaba. Entonces, Chipper Jones, imagínate, ¿cómo yo no voy a entrevistar a Chipper Jones? Vamos a dar la vuelta a esto y poner en mute un segundo. Mi gente, no se desesperen. Estamos esperando a Chipper Jones y a Marquis Grissom que vienen para acá.
To Atlanta for All-Star Week. We're going to get started with the Futures manager. We've got Hall of Famer Chipper Jones managing the NL Futures team, two-time All-Star Marquis Grissom managing the AL Futures team. We have the mic that we'll get to, so just raise a hand and we'll get started. I think we're going to start right down here in the front.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rafael Padilla del elPadiTV. Coming back to Truist Park for an event like the All-Star Game, what memory come to mind from your career with the Braves and from the All-Star Game you played in? And Chipper, considering Ronald Acuña Jr. impact of the game and his role as one of the face of this generation, how do you see his legacy taking shape within the Braves history and Major League Baseball as whole world?
I'll take it right here.
Well, it's obviously a tremendous honor and a once-in-a-career type opportunity to play in an all-star game in your home ballpark. I got to do it in 2000. Hank Aaron got to do it, I'm guessing back in the 60s, maybe early 70s, the last time it was, or the first time it was here. So he has a tremendous opportunity. I've said, all along that I feel that Ronald Acuña Jr. is one of the most, if not the most talented person to ever put a Braves uniform on. He has, he's got tools in his tool belt that, other players have, but he's got all the tools, there've been guys here that have hit 40 home runs. There've been guys here that have stolen 70 bases. There've been guys here that have won a ton of Gold Gloves, but none of them can do it all. None of them have done all that. So Ronald has a very bright future. If we can keep his knees under him and keep him healthy, I think he's in for a long and illustrious career.
Right here on the right.
Hi, Olivia Sayre, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. For Marquis, what is it like getting to manage your son in this game?
Well, actually, I'm not managing him.
I got
Chipper, as him over in the National League, but big ups to Chipper. He's a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? He get a chance to manage the National League, play in the National League, but the same team. Who does that? Him and Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken maybe play for the same team his whole career. That is tough to do. And he deserves those honors, and I'm just happy to be a part of this, and just get to see my son, all the work he's put in to be a part of this and excel his baseball career. But this is like Chipper said, it's like we've been around the game all of our lives, right? But to get a chance to come back to do something like this, to be around the future stars of the game, it doesn't really get any better than that for me.
30 years ago, you guys had that special moment together winning a World Series here in this city. This has become both of your hometowns. How cool is it just to be able to be a part of this again 30 years after that big moment?
Well, you can't measure my chill bumps right now at the yardstick. Watching him run over from center field, into the gap and just glide, to it, and knowing that he's got a beat on it and that this puppy's over. It was like it was happening in slow motion. I know it probably took that ball forever to get out there to him, but when he closed it, it was just, I don't think we could ever imagine the amount of number one, relief for everything that the organization had been through up until that point. I know he was, in another place at that point, and I wasn't quite there yet, through the really early 90s. But the relief for a lot of the younger guys, and just the election, we start playing this game Valentine's Day, and we don't end until Halloween. That's a long time of living together and playing together and eating together and doing, everything for it to culminate right there and be the last team standing. We play a team sport. That's the ultimate. All the individual stuff pales in comparison to what happened for us that night.
Third row middle.
Allison Strangelo, Channel 2 in Atlanta. For both of you, could this maybe be a little bit of a preview of you guys wanting to be managers someday? And also your competitive juices. I know you're friends, but you also want to beat each other in this game as well.
Yeah, of course I want to beat Chipper. But, we both competitive. But for me, as a manager, no, I have no interest at all. I enjoy what I do. I love the community. I love my wife. And I want to keep it that way. But the one opportunity I had in 2009 to go back and coach a team with the Nationals in 2009, that was the greatest experience for me. To really go and see it. Do you really want to coach? And it has to be in you. You have to be 100% committed. And if you're not, you're wasting your time and other people's time. And I'm so glad I had that experience because it allowed me to clarify what I wanted to do. And this is what I wanted to do. I want to serve the community, help more kids, learn the game of baseball, be around the game of baseball, grow the game of baseball, and to be able to do it right here in Atlanta, where I'm from. It doesn't get any better than that. And so I'm going to continue to stick to what I'm doing, but I appreciate the offers I've had over the years to go back and try to coach, but I'm enjoying my time at home.
I feel much the same way. Made promises when I retired. I still got 3 boys at home, so 7 boys in total. So they keep me plenty busy. And to his point, to Marquis's point, you have to be completely committed to be a coach or a manager. And I just don't know that I could serve the spot as well as I should, because I'm quite frankly being pulled in more important directions, for me. So it's, besides, I keep asking myself, why would any general manager, especially here in Atlanta, want to hire me for a fireable spot, for a fireable job? Like, would you want to have to be the general manager that has to fire me? That's a bad PR move, if you're asking me. So I think I've got my foot in the door just enough where both sides kind of dig it right now.
Susan, second row on the line.
Susan Slesser, San Francisco Chronicle. This is for Chipper. Chipper, you have one player on your roster, Hayden Harris, who's a Braves prospect, undrafted. A late add is Trent Harris from the Giants, also undrafted. How unusual is that in a game like this?
What a cool story. That's what. How can you not be romantic about baseball? To quote Brad Pitt, it's such an underdog type of sport because there are 1,000 ways to hit a baseball. There are 1,000 ways to get people out, on the mound. If you understand the player that you are and how to execute to the best of your ability on a consistent basis, doesn't matter if you're a five-tool prospect or an undrafted free agent. And I think we all kind of pull for those underdog stories, and it's a nice one.
Back here.
How much you think Bobby would enjoy seeing so many of you back here, participating in this event many years later, and how much, will you think about Bobby here this weekend?
Well, I know Chipper was here a lot, his whole career with Bobby. And, but for me, one of my favorite managers of all time. And the way he went about the game, the way he protected the players, just speaks volume of the type of manager he was. He was a player's manager. And I would just wish he could be here today to see this, all the former Braves coming to the All-Star game and participating in a different kind of way, in a unique way, to where we can serve and give back and help others, because that's what exemplified him as a manager. He's one of the greats of all time. We talked about the Hall of Famers that I've played with, seven guys, 5 players, and Bobby and Sherhost. So let's just speak volume of the Atlanta Braves organization, what they mean to baseball and what they've accomplished over all these years.
Right here on the right.
Charles Odom with the Associated Press. Chipper, I can remember Dave Justice ordaining you as the golden child. Not everybody can be a #1 overall pick, but everybody on the field today carries expectations of being part of the game's future, part of their organization's future. What can you tell them about at that stage of their career, coping with those expectations?
I kind of already have when we talked at breakfast this morning. You know, I think coming up through the minor league process, you have to be somewhat selfish because you need to go out and work on the things that are gonna make you a more well-rounded ball player, make you a more consistent ball player, make you a ball player that is worthy of being a big leaguer, you know? And, you know, once you get to the big leagues, then it's all about W's, you know? I mean, then you have to learn to be 1/9 of the equation that goes out there and helps win a ball game every night. So yeah, basically right now it's like, you know, it's boring to talk about, but the fact of the matter is, you know, you got to get yourself ready to play 200 baseball games in the season with spring training, the regular season, and playoffs. And, you know, you put your head down, don't read your press clippings, and go out and prepare each and every day for your 4 or 5 at-bats and your couple of plays in the field. Do them flawlessly. If you do that, then, you know, people can't say that you didn't contribute to the team on that particular day.
Come back up front.
Paloma Almonte, Leuca Deportes from Dominican Republic. My question is for you, Mr. Jones. Like, you're an 8 times All-Star. Due to your experience, I would like to know your opinion on this subject. We've seen in this edition a lot of huge names out of the list. For example, Juan Soto, he has the biggest contract in sports history. We've seen Jose Ramirez, third baseman who declined coming after he was chosen and voted by the fans. And also Ronald Acuña, we weren't so sure if he was going to be there due to his health. So I would love to know about his health. How is everything coming up? Because I know he won't be the home run derby. And just, I want to know how important it is for a professional baseball player to attend an All-Star game, because we've seen lately sometimes like one of them don't want to come, others like don't really care so much like before all years baseball players. So please, can you tell me about that?
It was a tremendous honor to be selected. Anytime you get a chance to represent your organization and your league against the elite of the American League is a tremendous honor. I never turned down an opportunity to go. I couldn't go one time because I was hurt. But whenever I had the chance, I always took that opportunity. I wanted to rub elbows with the best in the game. I wanted to play with the best in the game. As far as snubs, it happens. I won the National League MVP in 1999, didn't make the All-Star team. So, you know, it happens from time to time. Look at it the positive way. Hey, you get 3 or 4 days to kind of rest and reset for the second half. Obviously, in Soto's case, he's playing in a pennant chase with the Mets and the Phillies and whatnot. So as far as Ronald is, I feel like he's doing fine. I was disappointed he's not going to be in the home run contest because I think he'd win it going away. But again, you know, he's a guy who's last couple of years had some trouble with his knees, and recently, you know, on a long flight over there, had some back trouble. Came back, hit a couple home runs the next day, so he appears to be somewhat okay, but careful with his health going forward because, you know, he has spent so much time away from us.
Gary, third row line.
Hey, hi guys, Gary Bloom, nice to see you again. What do you think, you guys, both of you can answer the question, what do you think of the struggles the Braves have had this season? Where do you think they go? Is there enough rent for them to get back in it the rest of the year? And what did you think about how the first half of the season evolved and where it's going to go from here?
Well, you know, for me watching from day to day, right now, you know, everything starts with pitching. So if I'm building a baseball team, it's about pitching, defense, and then the hitting would be my last part. If you can pitch and throw strikes and get guys out and catch the baseball, you have a chance to win. It's a steady battle of a bad combination of having the pitching at the right time, not having the hitting. Then you have the hitting, then you don't have the pitching. Those two departments have to kind of blend together to be consistent as a winner. And we're just going up and down like a roller coaster. You know, we get going 1 minute, the next minute we don't. But we're inconsistent with the pitching, starting and the bullpen and the closer role. So you got 3 things right there we need to capitalize on and make better. And we're not getting the key hits with men on base. And that's a recipe for disaster. And that's kind of like where we're at now. But can we turn it around? For sure. You got plenty of games left the second half to really try to turn this thing around and get on a winning streak. What, 8, 9 games out? Wild card, first place. So this division is kind of wide open still. And I would never, count out a champion. We won in 2021. It was a different ball club, but this team has the characteristics of coming back and playing well the second half.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be tough. Obviously, Sale and Schwelly not coming back until probably September leaves a couple of big holes in the rotation. You're starting to see the bullpen, pick things up a little bit. The fact of the matter is offense covers up a lot of ills. If you can hit the ball out of the ballpark and string a bunch of hits together and average, 4, 5, 6 runs a game, that cures a lot of ills. We haven't seen much of that this year. It's been, there's been flashes of it, but it just hasn't been consistent day in and day out. And, it's going to be interesting to see how they plug those holes left by Sale and Schwelly, throughout the month of August and into September. I'll never say never because, I always felt that if I had to say so, coming down the stretch that we were going to have a chance. Like to see, some of those hitters have that kind of attitude coming out in the second half and really turning their season around.
Okay, we have time for 2 more. We'll take all the way on the right time and we'll finish up.
Hi, Dave Stevens with the Disability Channel. Gentlemen, it's still the greatest all-star game. Football's turned into flag football, basketball is a PlayStation game, and this is still pure with the best. But I had a couple of thoughts of changes, like what we used to have 30 years ago when we had an old-timers game. And what would your thoughts be about having an old-timers game where, let's say, you have your Atlanta Stars placing National League guys, and then maybe some skill stuff where outfielders throw the things, you bunt, you run the bases, something to just showcase a little more of the skills that you guys have.
Not this guy.
I just want to wake up in the morning, man.
But we used to have a cracker job. That's what I'm saying. It was so fun.
Yeah, I think I would be in traction if I played a 7 or a 9 inning game, out there at third base. Now I'm 53 years old. I have zero desire to walk out on that field with a ball and a glove and a bat. It's just, I think we all kind of feel like we've had our time. It's our duty now to kind of pass the torch via, whatever knowledge we can give the guys. And I think that's why we're so excited about today is the fact that we get to see firsthand the next wave of superstars that's coming through, and hopefully they're wanting to kind of soak up what we and our staffs have to offer them. We've had our time. It's their shot.
But would you like to see skills? Would you like to see something added to showcase what you guys do?
I'll let you answer that.
I actually thought about that, and it was about 12 years ago. I thought that would be a great idea for some of the American players to go play the Latino players in Dominican, Puerto Rico, Venezuela. But as I got older and wiser, I realized that wasn't the right thing to do. Not for me. Because the skill set, I could still throw the ball probably 75 miles. I'm still good swinging, but how many swings can I take before I go down? So we kind of stay in our...
Worried about rounding first. What you say?
It won't be any
Like
round.
that.
Somebody have to
Yeah.
rough me like they do in
Yeah.
softball and baseball league. Yeah, our time is gone. And, it's time for us to pass it on to the next generation.
All right, we'll finish up now.
Sorry for my English. Chipper, Junior Caminero plays the same position, third base. What do you think about this player and his power?
Yeah.
And Marquis, what do you think about Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Tatis, yeah, one of my favorite players of all time. To play against his dad, who was a pretty good player, a real good player, played a while. And then to see his son come up and kind of dominate the game before he got hurt at shortstop. And then for him to be able to transition to the outfield and possibly win a Gold Glove is amazing to the talent level that he has on the baseball field. And I'm pretty sure down the road, you know, he'll be knocking on the door as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, right? Third base, Tampa Bay, a lot of power. I remember when the Braves were down there playing earlier this year, it's like, man, who is this guy? You know, looks like he's got a very promising career ahead of him. I wish him nothing but the best, except when they play the Braves, and a lot of, you know, a lot of help. Third base is a spot where, you know, you gotta have a lot of power. You gotta be able to do a lot of things offensively at third base, and it looks like he's set for at least Tampa Bay is set for a while at the third base spot, because I don't see him giving it up very soon.
All right, Chipper, Marquis, thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck out there today.
Thank you.